Hello again, everybody. I'm Josh Bean from AL.com. I'm joined by Jeff Sintel. We're here to talk about the 2014 Mr. Football Award. Jeff, we're a few weeks before voting, but who do you think are the leading candidates so far?
You know, as much as I'd want to vote for a defensive guy like Hoover's Darrell Williams, he's just not going to have the numbers. Mr. Football is an offensive skill guy award. And it's funny that we're here at Driver Stadium for the Gardendale Homewood Game of the Week, because I look at the race now as who's got some good stuff and who can kind of take off from here. And I see four names that, Josh, in my mind, that I'm going to circle and say, show me what you got.
Yeah.
The fourth name is JuJu Henderson at Dale County, big, beefy tailback.
Last year's 3A back of the year.
Last year's 3A back of the year. How far will they go? Will they challenge Madison Academy? He's putting up some sick numbers. He's a guy I'm looking at. Moving up the grid, man, it gets tougher here. I've kind of got a two-way tie or three-way tie for first, because I see three names. I see Carryon Johnson of Madison Academy. If I had to put the odds-on favorite right now, I'd give it to Carryon Johnson. He's got a little bit of everything. He's got the skill level. He's got an SEC offer. He's got a career legacy to his candidates. He's got a lot of championships. There's a lot of things going on for him. He's got a pretty good resume right now, and I think if the season ended today, he'd get my vote. I see two other players that could rocket over him, so to speak. And that's number one, I'll go with Keith Mixon of Shades Valley.
Last year's Birmingham Offensive Player of the Year.
He's already got about 30 touchdowns this year. He's probably going to face a playoff run without his quarterback, his starting quarterback. How far can Keith Mixon take Shades Valley? If he can get them by Florence with another 3-4 touchdown game, can keep winning, maybe he puts up another 45 touchdowns after 35 last year. He's going to Mississippi State. He's very exciting. I think he's got a good case. And the final guy, I think, is the wild card nobody thought about. They call him Piggy T at Clay Chalkville, Tyrell Pigrome. The offense, Josh, could end up scoring about 750 points in 6A football.
Put up 85 last week.
It's phenomenal. His total touchdown number with his arm and with his legs and with his brain is at 47 through 11 games. That's unheard of. If Clay Chalkville goes all the way, they go 15-0. Maybe they set a new state record for points. Maybe he ends up with 48 touchdowns rushing and 20 touchdowns on the ground. My, that's a staggering resume. And if all that happens, I might lean towards the Clay Chalkville kid.
Well, you know, the hard part is you're talking about a guy who's had one standalone amazing season.
Yeah.
Some other guys who have this great resume, particularly a guy like Carryon Johnson, who played great as a 9th grader in the state championship game, then led Madison Academy to 2 state championships, could be a 3rd this year. Can you separate a guy's career achievements versus one amazing season?
Well, some people vote it on a body of work. I never liked that when the Heisman Trophy vote went that way, because you ended up with maybe not the best player that season. I just try to remind myself that we're talking about 2014. We're talking about the most outstanding football player in Alabama. And, you know, even though you look at the Clay kid, he's going to have a lot of touchdowns. Maybe I'll ding him a little bit because he's got a great running back, 2 future Saturday receivers. I mean, the numbers are going to have to be way up in the stratosphere for the Clay Chalkville quarterback, whereas I see maybe a Keith Mixon, maybe a Carryon Johnson ultimately getting my vote.
And this is such a great year in Alabama for linemen. Tyler Carr, Lester Cotton, the names go on and on. But you see any way that a lineman can vault himself ahead of any of these skill guys?
I think chaos may have to happen. You know, like Madison Academy wouldn't win the title, Clay Chalkville wouldn't win the title, maybe Hoover wouldn't win the title. A wild card guy who maybe has huge performances down the line. But if you're a lineman, you better be Lester Cotton. You maybe need to catch a touchdown pass in the state championship game. And you also, on the defensive side of the ball, you better have about 25 sacks, something like that, to even get yourself in that top 5, I think.
Well, Jeff, we'll see what happens as these Mr. Football candidates try to work their way through the playoffs. You can follow all of our playoff coverage at AL.com/highschool. Thanks for watching.